Hey guys, how are you doing? Today is June 16, Friday. I've been introduced waste management in my Hong Kong channel for so many times, right? This business is boring and disgust. We know that she is handling the garbage, right? That means the rubbish. Um, in different ways, like collecting the rubbish and then processing it, neutralize it, and then disposal. Right? Normally, it's like that, and then you can also further divide into for residential, for business area, and then for industrial. Right? That is how you divide it. Right? But actually, those kind of business is not easy for you to establish waste management company in US because you have to get the license and not easy for you to hire people, right? Because that is disgusting, right? You know that there is a strong smell and then unpleasant working environment, right? I've discovered actually that waste management is the biggest one in US. Of course, there are other for garbage management company, but I discovered that actually all of them, if they have a stock, right, they've been public listed, all of their performance is good. Not only waste management is good, but she is the biggest one, right? So we will introduce the others in a minute. But waste management is quite a boring stock, right? Because the business is not do not have any supplies to you, and then now it's changing for more automation, just like that, right? And then the business model also disgusting, right? Difficult to hire people, something like that, right? Many years of just 5 or 4 players in the market, quite boring, but earning money. So this is what we have the interest in those companies. That means this kind of company, maybe you can hold it for 5 years or 10 years, something like that, right? Boring and disgust, but make money, all right? So this is the most important thing, right? Okay, then we will go to that in a minute. And our Falcon portfolio been, I think yesterday, a lot of investor is happy about that, right? Because yesterday Dow Jones rise more than 400 points, and then Nasdaq is been to 13 and 500 already. That means this year Nasdaq been rising more than 55% already, right? So our Falcon portfolio been increased to 79%, right? Not bad. So if any of you want me to analyze on any stock, then you can leave your comment under the YouTube, or you can directly email to me by Usstockmarketweekly@gmail.com. So this is, you can see the rubbish, right? There is strong smell. You don't want to touch them. And then if you transport them, collect them, and then transport them for processing, neutralize them, then also another very big chemical smell. Very unpleasant, right? And then you have to collect them from different area, right? Like in a restaurant, residential area, commercial area, and then industrial area, right? So it's not an easy job, but this will make very natural mode to the company, right? Very natural mode, because not easy for you to go in. I have money, I want to establish a company like that. You will find it's very difficult, right? Difficult to hire people, difficult to get the license, difficult for the safety, difficult for the disposal. Many of them need a license, and it's very strict in the US, right? So waste management or the business have a natural mode on their business. It's not easy for other competitors to come in. So yesterday, Dow Jones rose at more than 400 points. So the highest point for Dow Jones in history is 36,000 something. So maybe this year we can achieve. We don't know, right? That is Nasdaq. So rise at more than 35% this year already. So why it rise up? Why it rise up? Because Powell declared it very clearly for the rest of this year. Fed will put up the interest rate for 2 times. Total is half, right? 0.5%. So it's very clear. The one time is a quarter in next month, July, and then another quarter maybe in September or October. So the path and the percentage is clear. So the market rise up, right? So what do you think is unclear? Everything is very clear, right? So the market is like that, right? Okay, our Falcon 350,000 portfolio been raised to 79%. You can see that only 1 year before that the portfolio been dropped for 7%. But because at the time the portfolio been raised for 100%, so for 100% you drop the 7% is quite bad, right? And this year it rises further 4%, and we've been 1.1% beat Nasdaq. Nasdaq rises in this same period is 78%, and we rise at 1% more than Nasdaq, right? Okay, we have some headlines first, right? And China's economy recovery is stalking. Stalking means delayed, right? And now Bill Gates is in China and is waiting to see presidency, right? So I do not expect any special things will happen. And then there will be a big stimulus measures come out, but originally it should be today, Friday, and then they said it will be delayed. So she is using the word stalling, right? Because it's delaying. I overheard from the news is then pin more money, right? More money not flow into the market, and then more constructive big constructions, and then easing for you to buy the apartment, something like that is old things, old tricks, right? I don't think that will be useful, right? And then for Bank of Japan, and then I explained it before, Japan is very conservative unless the economic improvement is very obvious. She is very conservative. She will not change the monetary policy in the short term, right? So she is holding the interest rate at not a low level, it's an ultra low level, right? So as we predicted, right? So we go to waste management. Take a look on the stock performance in the past 5 years, right? So you can see that actually she is never beating up by the putting up the interest rate, right? So it's going down and then going up, immediately going up and then going down, right? In the past 5 years. So especially during the COVID-19 3 years, it's not bad, right? And she has 1.7% dividend, right? And the PE ratio now is not very expensive, only 30. And then remember, her market cap is 66 billion US dollar. So waste management now in US is the biggest one. You can see that 24%, right? 24%. And then the second one is residential, right? Public service, 15%, and then waste collection 8%. GFL is not a US company. It's from Canada, 8%, just small, right? Just small, just in about 10 years time. And then CWST is from Rockland, right? From Rockland. And then others, the biggest one, 44% actually is from the government. So waste management is the biggest one. And then the public service. Actually, I have checked that WM, RSG, WCN, GFL, CWST, all of their stock prices outperform the market. Very good. Right. So I will take some time to pick up some better one and then introduce in my Hong Kong channel. So pay attention to that, right? And waste management is the biggest one. this means US, right? This means US. So now there will be an automation project, right? Because we know that you cannot always rely on too many labor force. So there are automation projects now in this industry in the US, right? You can see the planning for 2023, for 2024, for 2025, then one by one from small to big, right? So you can see, you can freeze the screenshot and then study by yourself. And then waste management. So we all know that is a necessary service in all environment. And because we know that nowadays, then people generate more and more rubbish, right? More and more rubbish. So at any economic environment, then you need them, right? And there is not a lot of competitors, right? I think that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then another biggest one is the government, all right? So 4 to 5 player in the same US market is, I think, is healthy, right? So waste management is the biggest one, and then others is chasing up, right? So it's necessary in all environment, right? Because nowadays we produce more and more rubbish, right? So you can see that for the dividend, right, in the left-hand corner, left-hand upper corner, you can see that the dividend yield is 1.66, and then every year's payout is about $2.8, right? $2.8, and then the payout percent is about 47% from the net income, and then for 5 years, growth rate is 8.78%. Not good, right? And then she has a dividend for 19 years already, right? The growth rate for 5 years growth at 8.78%. And then you can see that for the past 5 years, the stock price increased at 100%, right? So it's not bad. It's a very good investment, right? If you buy waste management 5 years before, right? You can see that 5 years before, what is the stock price? $80. And then after 5 years and 3 years, we have the COVID-19, then it rises to the double. So we can see that for this waste management market in the US, every year, this market size increased by 5.6%. You can see that mainly is for collection of the garbage, and then transportation, and then disposal, right? And let us take a quick look on the first quarter performance of waste management. Revenue, $4.8 billion for the quarter, first quarter, January, February, and March. And the revenue increased by 4.8%, right? And the net income increased by about 4%, right? $0.53 billion compared to 1 year before, 0.513. And the net income, net profit margin is about 10.9%. And then we take a look on the different area of the money flow in, right, of the profit. So you can see that commercial is good, right? Commercial better than 1 year before. Industrial better, and then residential better, right? Only one is not showing very good is for the recycling. Recycling is a little bit less than 1 year before. All others is better than 1 year before. So we accept this, right? This is good. And for the balance sheet, right? For the balance sheet, I am not happy with her balance sheet, right? Because we can see that for the current asset, right? Current asset is quite small, $3.3 billion only for current asset. Then a lot is for the long-term asset like the property and equipment. A lot of money counted for the goodwill, intangible asset. But for the current asset, only $3.3 billion. But we take a look on the current liability and the long-term debt, right? both of them add up is 24 billion US dollar. It's much, much, much bigger than the current asset. This is the point that I'm not satisfied. Because if a good company has a lot of cash, something like that, then the current asset should be bigger than the total liability. But no, it's way less than that. So actually, when there is some problem happen, and then she can only issue more debts and then sell the factory, right? Sell some intangible asset. I don't think so, right? So actually, there is only one point I'm not satisfied, and then there is far away, right? You can see that for the total current asset, only 3.3 billion US dollar, but for the total liability is 24 billion US dollar. So when the business is in not a very good condition, then this will kill, right? So this is only one thing that I'm not happy with her. And then we can see that for the net cash provided by the operating activity, I'm okay for that, right? 10 billion US dollar, right? Sorry, 1 billion US dollar. And then 1 year before 1.2, I think it's okay, right? Because the past 1 year is not good. And you can see that for the free cash flow is less than 1 year before because there is the capital expenditure, then is more, and then free cash flow with sustainability growth investment is less. So when you count it back, then the free cash flow is more or less the same, right? So we can say that for the dividend just introduced, it, I think it's okay to all of us, right? And the stock price increased a double in 5 years, and then every year we have 1.6% dividend yield, and is gradually small increasing, right? So I think this is a good investment, unless the finance is not as to my requirement, right? So I will also examine the other stock. They have the same stock performance as waste management, but I want to find one that have the better balance sheet than her, right? I'm not happy with that, right? I would like that kind of company have a very good finance, right? Very good, not just a fair, right? If this company in any difficult position, then it will kill her. Right? It will kill her. Then we don't know, right? Maybe tomorrow, maybe after 10 years, maybe 20 years, we don't know. But one day we have to be very cautious on that, right? So better take a look and then subscribe on our channel. Then anything that we update, then YouTube will inform you, right? Okay, thanks for watching. And today is Friday. Tomorrow is our weekend. So I hope every one of you have a very peaceful weekend. So see you guys next Friday. Bye bye.